you created a $1.8 billion slush fund, unprecedented slush fund. Let me go back to this slush fund.
Who's getting taxpayer dollars out of this settlement fund? The settlement fund.
California will actually pay a health care provider, I didn't know this was a medical expertise, to pay for exorcisms. Is that right?
I'll accept that.
If you need an exorcism, you can go to California.
There was a significant backlog that was left by the Biden-Harris administration. Unfortunately, they created a culture of dragging their feet and not actually completing these cases. I know they also rolled back a number of reforms that were put in place during the first Trump administration to ensure that our immigration courts functioned in an efficient manner.
We're getting into the backlog, but when you have something like 4 million immigration cases, 4 million immigration cases backed up, even if you cut it down by 1 million a year, you're still looking at 3 or 4 years to catch up.
When a president uses his Department of Justice, which you now had, to go after his perceived political enemies, I hope you won't be party to that. Thank you.
I mean, I couldn't agree with you more, and that's why what happened during the Biden administration was so disgusting.
That is completely inappropriate and wrong. There is no comparison.
Okay, that's the action in the Senate hearing today, featuring Trump acting U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche. Blanche, Democrats focused on a $1.8 billion fund for victims of weaponization and lawfare that happened under Joe Biden. There are questions about that, but Republicans were focused on out-of-control blue Democrat state Medicaid and Medicare fraud and abuses, and how Joe Biden broke the immigration system and the border by collapsing and opening the border. No other country in the world has done it like this. Let's welcome from House Ways and Means, Congresswoman Claudia Tenney. Congresswoman, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thanks for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you. What was your reaction to what you heard at this Senate hearing today?
Well, I didn't know that I could go get an exorcism in California. That's something new. I haven't thought about that since I watched The Exorcist, the movie, with my old horse show friend, Linda Blair, who starred in that, by the way. But look, this is insane, you know, the amount of spending. And I understand what Attorney General Blanche is trying to do and what President Trump is trying to correct is the weaponization during the Biden administration. And oh, by the way, this all started even before President Trump was in office, as we now know. It happened under President Obama, under Hillary Clinton's campaign, and this entire scheme to destroy President Trump and his family every way possible, but also anyone affiliated with him. And people were thrown in jail, and it was a disaster. And then there are all kinds of people out there that were victims of this weaponization. I found it very rich that one of the Democrat senators, you know, really blamed this on the Republicans and President Trump. I mean, who has President Trump gone after? His enemies. He's trying to make the system fair because he knows the FBI and the DOJ and these agencies were used against him and against other Americans who really were just, you know, living their life and being, you know, exposed by because they supported him.
You know, what was truly stunning was the moment that Republican Senator John Kennedy listed all the things far-left California state Democrats consider a Medicaid expense that taxpayers are paying for. Let's take a listen to this.
Medicaid program will pay for herbal medicines, meal deliveries. They'll pay for housing. The Medicaid program, using federal money, taxpayer money, will pay for an in-home chef.
Yes.
Okay.
If it's a family member, yes.
Yeah, they'll even pay for gymnasium fees through Medicaid in California. They'll pay for bicycles, scooters, gym memberships. Did you know that?
Yes, several states do, but California does for sure.
They'll even repay your student loans. Were you aware of that?
I was not aware of the student loans repayment.
Yeah, they'll repay somebody's student loans to encourage them to become a health care provider. I mean, California, they're just setting all kind of records. These folks are they're wild people.
Yeah, and Congressman, California is still the only state that has not repaid back to federal taxpayers their COVID-era, you know, jobless benefits.
Yeah, look, New York is probably as bad, if not worse, than California. All those same things that he's citing and all the waste, fraud, and abuse that we have in New York with the Medicaid system. Remember, there's a whole cottage industry that if you were to correct the fraud and abuse and the waste in the New York's Medicaid system, that would reduce the amount of the federal matching funds. So New York doesn't do anything, and yet the taxpayers continue to pay. And it's really just totally unfair to the taxpayers. And by the way, while he's citing California, New York has the highest Medicare per capita rate than any other state in the entire nation.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah, California, they haven't paid back their COVID-era loans they took from the federal government. It's wild stuff. Congresswoman Tenney, thank you for joining us. Now, please listen to this.